Hello. Hello, YouTube. Good morning. You're on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. TKD for life. What's going on? Shannon Smith, Ben Bacon Bits, Sandy Wandy, Aspire to Inspire. Shannon Smith. What's going on, guys? Kathy Ann. Glad you guys made it. Flick Fox, always a pleasure. Brazy girl. I'm using your mug again today, Brazy. It's gotta be a fast fave. And it's so good when it hits your lips. It's just so good. Millie the Dandelion, what's going on? Make sure don't get in trouble with your boss, huh? Don Gloves, what's going on? I'm excited to do that ADHD panel with you guys tomorrow. Jimena, always a pleasure. Good morning. Today is Thursday, and it's a special day. Today I'm going to go see if I can make some flow friends, some flomies, as it were. They have a flow jam in Tucson on Thursdays, I guess. So I'm hoping to go meet some like-minded folks, get some dancing done. We'll see how that goes. Fancy Nancy, hello. Aaron F, Dirty Mouse, Nicola E, I live for now. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah. Should be a good one. I'm pretty excited. I have to say. Love in every sip. That's right, Brazy. That's absolutely correct. And speaking of, I'm going to have another. It's just so good. And yes, I am drinking my coffee black. Yes, I am drinking my coffee black. Speaking of shenanigans, my son turns 18 very soon. Wow, what an age. What an age. I remember turning 18. It was a monumental day. We'll say that without getting into too much detail. Hello, Butterfly, aka Pajama Pixie. We did miss you, always. Day 4 without Power Post Barrel. Connection to the www is spotty at best, World Wide Web. But we make the best of it. Just keep swimming. Just like Dory said, huh? That's one of my favorite quotes from that movie, because that's kind of what I do. I just keep swimming. Especially when the chips are down. I just try and keep swimming, you know? Because that's all we can do sometimes. I tell you what, my boss spent a year trying to manage me out because of my disabilities. I fought back and pulled it out of the bag. It's an intimidation tactic. Being here is helping me hold it together. Well, I tell you what, you're a winner. And they would be, what's the right word? They would be put out without you. You know what I mean? They'd be less without you. And screw that guy, in my opinion, honestly. That's rude. You know what I mean? That's just rude. Layla Bradley. But I mean, maybe thanks to him, you know, I don't know, for keeping you, whatever the deal is. But I'm not a big fan of that whole manage me out because of my disabilities. That makes me mad, you know? Manage this, bud. Just kidding. Yeah. Layla Bradley, how you doing? Hey, hi, how you doing? It's been a while since you've asked me your wonderful questions, Layla. I can't possibly have curbed your curious mind. There must be something else going on. Out with it. Let's have it. Tell us the truth. So wanting to discover all your ADHD hacks. Well, I don't know if I'm full of the hacks or not. I attempted to put them all in a video the other day, and it ended up being a lot less than I thought it would be. So maybe you have the skills necessary to pull this secret knowledge out of my head, because it's buried under all the happenings of the past week, which my ADHD brain is wont to do. Good morning, Mara. Hello, hello, hello. Listening and just removing itchy labels from clothes. I tell you what, one of my favorite shirts, you guys see me wear it a lot, it's that burgundy V-neck. It has a tag in the back, but it's one that's like sewn in. Like it's just like trying to get the reverseness really bothers me. It's just sewn in, so it's not like a flap. It's just like 100% sewn in. It is the most itchy tag of all time. I just want to cut that section of the shirt out, but then it would look so crappy. It would look so terrible. It would look like a Burning Man shirt, which is not the idea. It's a classy shirt. It's just itchy. Izzy is definitely the hack queen, in my not so humble opinion. Maybe she'll grace us with her presence. This is not my first hurricane, says Pajama Pixie. Maybe without power for a few more days, or maybe restored later today. Who knows? You got some candles you've been dying to burn, I bet. I have some sweet candles I've been burning from Jimena. This one's citrus coconut. Usually I don't light them in the morning because I like the smell of coffee, but I didn't take the trash out last night, to be honest. So I'm going to go ahead and get some coconut citrus going. Meow. Meow. Well, ain't that great, TKD? I did not turn to weed after my live last night, though I so wanted to. Thoughts of you all keep me straight. I'm telling you, the power of support, the power of your crew, it is not to be underestimated. I'm so happy to hear that. That means we're doing our job. Because whatever it is you aspire to do, to quit, to improve your life with, we support that. Whatever it is you're doing to improve your life, that's what we want for each other, right? Not only is this a connection thing, but it's a coming up thing. None of us are going to make it out of this life alive, right? So we might as well do the thing together. Screw this alone thing. You know what I mean? It's not the business. It is not the business. What's going on? Body illusion. I have not spoken to my dad about it, Brazy. I'm sure that he got the download. I'm sure that he called them and spoke to them. I asked the admiral for leave to strike up a storm with him, but he said he'd take care of it. So I will let you know as soon as I know, Brazy. It is alarming, right? It's quite alarming. Do better sewing a patch over it on the inside to help that. Well, see, the thing with that is I have all these patches that are really great, but then if I do it on the inside, no one will see it. I guess I could just make a patch out of some soft material, huh? Maybe this is how I learned how to sew. Do you find it hard to keep friends with those who still do drugs? Yes, I do. And it's not like, I mean, maybe that's the wrong way to answer that. The simple answer is yes. But I'm not necessarily attempting to stay friends with people that are using. I mean, I definitely still have friends that that party, right? But the people that are my friends, we were. That is a good question. That's a good question. Yes, it is difficult. There must be some serious redeeming qualities, right? If I'm going to put myself through that hardship, it's got to be worth it. You know what I mean? And when I say worth it, I'm not taking a risk of relapsing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm walking through a fire, right? I'm putting myself in a position that's uncomfortable. I'm directly putting things to deal with on my plate by hanging out with people that are using, right? And I have to say, the amount of friends that I have that are using is very, very low. And when I say using, they're probably just smoking pot. You know what I mean? I don't have, and I mean, I guess drinking. We can't forget alcohol. It's everywhere. But I'm not friends with people that are using hard drugs. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's a choice or like a necessity, honestly. I have not put myself in a position where white powders are going around. You know what I mean? I have not put myself in a position where there's crazy stuff going on. And part of that is fear, and part of that is knowledge, for sure. I can't think of any friends that I have that do more than smoke pot or drink. And those are numbered. And they all live in Utah. Not all my friends in Utah do that, though. I will say most of my friends are sober. I have to say, it's difficult. It's a hard thing. That's a great question, Layla. Look at you go. All I had to do was mention something. You've got them ready to go, loaded up. Feeling like things are about to go down. Jamie Palmer, what's going on? Good morning, Charlie Mullins. Yeah, what's going on? Usually I get that feeling right before something happens. You know what I mean, Jamie? I feel like you know what I mean. The end of musing. I love that name so much. Unpicking it one stitch at a time. Maybe that's what I need to do. Tedious yet effective. Sometimes that's how you got to do it. The candles are so great. I have to tell you, Jimena. So I myself have tried to go candle shopping. It is so hard for me. I don't know. There's something wrong with my brain. You choosing candles for me was great because it took all the difficulty out for me. And what wonderful flavors you chose. We got citrus, coconut, sandalwood, which is my favorite, and lavender. Lavender makes me tired, so when if I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll put that sucker on. Well, thanks, Shannon. I try to liven it up and I try to keep it chill because I have to keep my heart rate down. I get really riled up real easy, I tell you what. So I try to go through my day chilling. I definitely do my exercise and get my work done and whatnot. But man, especially with the new situation down there, I try to keep my heart rate real low. I'm not trying to get in any sort of altercations. Stacy Allen, good morning. Could I be friends with someone who had one drink? Absolutely. It's not about the alcohol and the substances. It's about the quality of their character. I think that finding people that I resonate with, finding people that are real friends, you know what I mean, is far and few between. So when I find them, I try to hold on to them. If they're suffering from something such as substance abuse, I probably am equipped to help them, right? So I look at it a little different for sure. It's not about the substances at all. I'm definitely, I don't know if overlook is the right word because I'm not judging, right? I understand that this thing is a disease and it's a struggle. And for a lot of people, it's not. For a lot of people, it's whatever. It's just a drink, right? So um, if that's their focus, if that's what they're always focused on, we're probably not going to get along very well. But if we are going to get along very well, it's going to be immediately apparent. As soon as we meet, it's going to be like, oh, you're my people. That's cool. So that changes the game and the landscape a little bit. I did want to talk a little bit about friends today. I have been accepting, I'm going to skip some stuff here. I have been accepting all of my friend requests on Facebook. And the thinking behind that was I'm getting all these requests all of a sudden. It must be, through the Lifeboat page. And I probably should be here present for such connections, right? Wrong side. Which I think is still a solid thought process. But that being said, some of the people that I've been accepting have started messaging me, and it's a little weird. It's a little strange, and I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. I guess I could ask, right? And I have started asking, but one guy in Africa really wants to be friends with me. He's asked me to be friends a few times. I told him like, yeah, we could be friends, but he keeps asking how my family is and reaffirming that he wants to be my friend. And I don't. Maybe that's their culture. I don't understand, but it just seems a little fishy to me. And it's extra tricky because on his page he's got all this like circus stuff, which I'm way into. You know what I mean? He's like out there training kids how to do circus stuff, and they have these performances, and it's way cool. Um, but yeah, I don't know how to take these connections. I don't know how to take them. There's a girl, there's a girl from France that wants to come visit me, and she looks real, but I just don't understand. I don't understand. And I want to be authentic with everything that I do, right? And it's difficult to be authentic with internet friends. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. I don't know if I should keep engaging in these connections because the question becomes, how do I know what's going on? How do I know who these people are? You know what I mean? Am I just going to ask them a bunch of qualifying questions? Am I going to friggin' interrogate them, right? I don't think that that's the right answer. But I also don't think that just like letting my guard down, and I don't think that's the right answer either. So I don't know. I wanted to share that with you guys though, because I share pretty much everything with you guys, and I've been talking to these people for I think a week now, maybe a little less. Um, yeah, I don't know. Especially, it's weird for me because I don't ever meet people online. That's something I've never allowed myself to do. I always meet people in person. It's much more valuable to me. It's a much more valuable experience. Um, I can see your face and look into your eyes and like see your soul. You know what I mean? And that's valuable to me too. Without that, I feel quite naked and vulnerable. Sounds intriguing, right? She doesn't live there now, but she's totally not an English. Her English is not her first language. Um, and part of me wants it to be authentic, right? Because that would be super neat just to make friends with random people, and for some reason it works out. But is that real though? Like these people didn't find me on the boat, and that was my initial assumption. Well, then how did they find me? Just a random suggested friend? I don't know. I have also, out of all these friend requests that I've accepted, no one has asked me for money yet, but there have been a few scams that are just like using, I forget what exactly was going on, but there was like 3 or 4 or 5 profiles that were all different, that were all doing the same thing. And so I blocked all of them. But it's just interesting. It's just a thought, something I've been chewing on, journaling about. Just so you guys know, anytime I'm doing a morning boat, I just finished journaling. I suggest you do the same. Thank you to everyone who told me to trust my gut. I'm trying. I'm trying. Well, see, that's the thing, Brazy. I can't tell if it's a red flag or not because they live in California currently. So I don't know. I might give them the opportunity to meet me, but um, it's quite fishy. It's quite fishy. And I'm a fish, you know? I am a fish. It's quite fishy. I promise, Shannon. I am safe. I promise. I know you're not going to scam me, Jimena. We talk on a pretty regular basis, you know what I mean? And I get to, I don't know, it's a little different. If they were people from the chat, I think that I would feel more comfortable about it. But it's not people from the chat. You know what I mean? Definitely don't want to make you feel like I'm uncomfortable. I know who you are, Jimena. We've shared dialogues. I am not concerned at all. My gut tells me you're pretty great. How long do I normally journal for? Until I run into a block, and then I'll put it down, and then I'll like think of something, and I'll come back and write it down later. That's my current pattern. I didn't used to run into blocks. I used to just be able to kill the page, just everything in here, put it down. And now it's a little bit more complicated. And I don't know what's going on. My sleep schedule is also being quite rebellious. My circadian rhythm is not cooperating. So maybe it has to do with that. I don't know. But usually I just journal until I can't until all of the stuff's out of my head. Sometimes it's hard to get that. Sometimes there's chunks of crap in there that like clog up the drain hole. The drain hole being the download of information onto the page, right? So sometimes I have to go eat some breakfast or do some push-ups or do a boat, and then that crap will move out of the way, and then I'll be able to flow again, if that makes sense. And honestly, this is all I did this morning. I'm going to cover it up because I don't want you to read it, but I always feel like I haven't done enough if the page is still showing lines. But sometimes I'm not prepared to journal all of that. And I think that if I gotten honestly, a better practice of meditation, that would help a lot with that flow. Being able to calm the mind, being able to slow that brain tornado down just enough. I also think that I have been plugging into media a lot rather than giving my body and mind a chance to relax and decompress. So today I'm going to make that my top priority. Instead of plugging into whatever I'm plugging into, I'm going to sit here with my thoughts, maybe a little bit of music, right? Because that really helps. But probably going to do a lot of processing and internal work today. Hopefully, I'll come out the other side better tomorrow. Hopefully, the circadian rhythm cooperates. I went to bed an hour, 2 hours early last night. Still woke up tired. I guess it was better objectively than yesterday, but still not what I'm looking for. Good morning, Russ Allen. What's going on? Hope between the dreams. I'm pretty sure we're doing a night yard tomorrow, y'all. And the Admiral may or may not pop in, but Russ and I are going to do a night yard tomorrow. So, excuse me, stay tuned for that, especially if you've been missing it like we have. Get ready. Hope between the dreams. Hello, hello. Meet in neutral ground, no place you go on a regular, just in case, but you can trust your instinct. Quite wise for your time on this planet. I definitely try to, it's interesting. There's this part of me that's very tactful and cautious, and then there's this other part of me that's equally like strong, and he just wants to, like, he says, F it. He says, whatever, let's go. He says, let's kick the door down, let's see what's in there, He's just curious and impatient. So I have to balance him out for sure. Because this guy's fun, but sometimes you find yourself in a room, you're like, ooh, didn't think that was going on in here. I'm going to see myself out. You know what I mean? So, A Tribe Called Duff. What's going on? Cheryl Niles. I know your friend request isn't spam, Millie. I appreciate you. Having a bad day at work. Well, I hope it gets better for you, Russ. Those things happen. It's interesting having to work as a part of a team with people that may or may not be easy to work with. You know what I mean? My circadian rhythm is still on a backpacking trip in Europe. That's pretty sweet. I feel like my circadian rhythm's still out in the desert for sure. I am a Pisces, Shannon. I'm on the Aquarius cusp too, so I have this ability to be completely, what's the word? Unattached to things and people. And that is so interesting, the end of musing, how they find us. I've often wondered what I can do to, I guess there's no way to stop the advertisements, right? They're going to find my location one way or another. I think that in order to really get off grid, you would have to do away with so much technology. Like, I can't have a smartphone. And if I'm going to connect to the internet, I'm probably not going to be able to protect myself at all. I mean, I can do I can do like a sandbox, but then I can't connect, right? So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. In order to really truly be off the grid and not be tracked, you kind of have to do away with a lot of luxuries. A lot of luxuries. I've thought about it a lot. It would be one of my ideals, one of my ideal futures, to be completely off grid and just be out there doing something, traveling, maybe just fishing. Maybe I just live next to a body of water. I got a little boat, and a fishing rod, and I go out there and I catch food to eat for me and my family. I don't know. That's like a dream that I have a lot, I have to say. A lot more recently than before. Certain amount of detachment is good. It's good to have control over that. You know what I mean? It's good to like flip that switch and then unflip that switch. It's good to have control over the switch. Good morning, Jilbo. Just dipping in for a quick hello. Hi, chat. My circadian rhythm is messed up as well. Mine is due to anesthesia from medical procedure I had on Tuesday. Well, I hope that procedure went well, Jilbo. Let us know. Let us know how you're doing. Jeremy Fowler. That is the word I was looking for. Thank you. Apathetic. How you doing, brother? Always a pleasure, dude. Well, I have to say, I was going to talk about some stuff, but we just started talking to each other. I guess we can still talk about it. I was going to talk a little about contrary action today. Yeah, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference. It certainly makes a difference. Hmm. So, contrary action in the context of recovery or living a new life or making changes in your life, this refers to intentionally acting in a way that's contrary to what you normally do, your habitual or instinctual behaviors, right? The opposite of that, contrary to habitual or instinctual behaviors. And we've talked about this a lot. We'll probably talk about it a lot more. Um, and especially particularly harmful behaviors, right? So, let's say I get in an argument with my significant other. Maybe my go-to is to, have a drink, or my go-to is to, smoke a little pot right now, right? So I can feel a little better. Or maybe my go-to is to engage with this person and yell and scream and make it worse, right? Well, instead, what we're going to do is contrary action, right? You see how effective and simple that is? Instead of engaging in destructive behavior, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to do anything other than what I normally do, right? And this is going to start, you're going to be able to start to build habits, doing different things in different directions and healthier directions. You're going to be able to choose which direction you do that in as well. Staying present in the moment for these happenings is also going to be necessary, right? But specifically with trauma and mental health involves challenging negative thought patterns, right? If we're going to be healing in the mental, wait, what am I talking about? Yes, this may involve challenging negative thought patterns. And it most likely will. Avoiding isolation. We all like to isolate, especially when we're not feeling too hot, right? When we feel wronged or something. I thoroughly encourage you to practice and think about some contrary action, especially when the chips are down. Don't do what you normally do. Do something else. And if you can muster the willpower, do something productive. Do something that's in a good direction, right? Instead of whatever you normally do. This will inevitably involve participating when you don't feel like it. One of my favorite things to do when I don't feel like participating is to isolate. Well, that's probably not the best thing to do. It's probably one of the worst things you can do, especially when the chips are down, when you're triggered or whatever, right? I try to go hang out with my friends and be normal these days. And that's not necessarily always the right answer, but it's definitely better than being alone and isolated and vulnerable, right? By myself, left to my own devices. Left to my own devices. Whether that's in your own life or someone else's, what have you. The gradual facing of emotions, memories, your past, your dark side is what we're talking about here. Rather than avoiding or numbing, right? Which is my go-to. I'm not certain about pattern interrupt or what Jamie Palmer said. I'm not familiar with those terms, but we can call it contrary action, which is the opposite action of what you normally do. Seems pretty straightforward to me. Renee Rainbow, hello, hello. I don't think I've ever said hello to you. Normal as in what you usually do. I know normal is a construct and it's perspective based, but normal for you, right? Normal as in the last time I got in an argument with my significant other, I fill in the blank. That's your normal. You know what your normal is. You know what I mean? I don't know what your normal is. Blessed to crochet. What's going on? I just mean your usual is all I mean. We could talk about constructs all day. I got a tinfoil hat just chilling. Right. Normal's relative, but normal for you, usual for you. What do you usually do when this is happening? Do something else. That's all I'm saying. I need some isolation after a few days of festival company. Always do, coming out of it again now. I tell you what, I have to say, recharging your batteries is necessary, especially after all that hubbub, all that other energy moving around and whatnot. I definitely need this myself, and I feel better now. But it is, yeah, I kind of have to reset my center and my grounding, I think. Oh, well, thank you, Yadira. Thank you very much. I try to look at the camera a little more often. It's sometimes a struggle. Sometimes a struggle. There's so much stimulation here. You know, I've been thinking a lot about what Izzy said the other day. She says a lot, I know, but she was talking about, we were talking about ADHD treatment and medications, and she was saying, going untreated from medication worked until she had a kid, and that now with all these extra things to pay attention to and to get done, it just wasn't sufficient. I've been thinking to myself, I bet you I would benefit wildly from some medication and some therapy. I go through these waves where it seems like a good idea and then it doesn't, and it seems like a good idea and then it doesn't, and I never really act on it. I can never stay in the good idea wave long enough to act on it. I want to go to the beach. Take me with you, Jimena. I want to go. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Also, off topic, didn't catch all of your stream on ADHD due to time, but posted all about Vyvanse on the Discord. Word. Well, thank you for that. I most definitely will revisit it tomorrow, I believe, or is it Monday? Correct me if I'm wrong, Ben. I believe tomorrow we're doing a ADHD panel, are we not? Oh, that's so nice. Brianna Miller, I see you. Brown, 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 brown. I always recommend therapy and journaling, especially for journeys like this. Um, Contrary action is just a tool. It's not going to change your life. It's not going to change the world, but it can. It can help a ton, right? It can set you in the right direction. All of these tools that we talk about need to be used in conjunction. No one of them is going to save the day, right? Just journaling isn't enough. Just coming to these isn't enough. Just building a support group isn't enough. You need to really be, especially if we're talking about addiction, right? Not all of us are talking about addiction, but if you are, the chips are stacked against you. The deck is stacked against you. You need to use every tool at your disposal. So that being said, I just wanted to make sure nobody thinks that this is an end all, cure all, be all. It's just a tool, just one of many that we talk about here. Self care is super duper important. I don't know why that's on my contrary action. Ask yourself, what do I need? When I feel off, I ask myself, what did I forget? Right? What am I missing? Because I'm often forgetting or missing something. And I'll schedule my self care. I will carve out time in my schedule to do whatever. It doesn't matter. It could be nothing, or it could be whatever my heart desires. But I put that in the schedule, so I'm not feeling pressured to do it. There's an allotted time to be chilling. It is super hard to remember to stay calm. I can relate with that. No, it's because there's so much else going on and my brain isn't collected enough. I still feel new to this, even though I probably seem comfortable. If I had the words in my head I could look at this camera all day long, but I have to look at my notes. I have to look at the chat. I'm not adept at navigating this overstimulation just yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting better. I think a slightly different setup would serve me as well. I'm trying to work that out, but bills need to be paid and the boat needs to keep going. And I haven't found the time or the resources to adjust these things just yet. But we're making progress. I'm getting better. Talking with you about this is helping me a lot as well. So I appreciate that. Jamie Palmer says, Spanx, I feel like that would be only come into play during arguments for me. Like I react badly when the person I'm arguing with calls me stupid because I'm not understanding what they're trying to say. I can relate with that. And these tools also are going to serve everybody differently, right? You will definitely be able to tell how best to apply things, and maybe contrary action is only useful for you in moments like this. I don't know, but only you are the one that can decide that, right? That is interesting. I definitely have employed contrary action with arguments with my significant other. Gratefully, it has helped me a ton in those situations, actually, especially with Lucy. We would fly off the handle together. And I'm super grateful that I had the concept of contrary action at that time. 100%. It's way hard to remember to stay calm at those times. 100%. But if you are able to, you're way more effective, way more empowered to make good decisions, right? Yeah, as a date with yourself, Amanda, that's right. That's right. Because you deserve it. You got to treat yourself. You know what I mean? We set our own value, right? If I'm not going to treat myself, who's going to treat me? I really like this statement. I find that authenticity and commitment to the truth helps immensely. I have to say something that I work on constantly. Well, thanks for saying that, Mara. I appreciate that. I will try to give you more of these pretties. Sometimes hope lies in small incremental progress every day. Well, ain't that true? One scheduled. Do we have any updates on how Carol is doing? I've been thinking a lot about her lately. I have the same information that everyone else does. I've watched her the most recent vids or whatever. So that's all that I know. I've been keeping her in my thoughts. Let's put some ones up for Carol and her family because we love her. Also, I'm pretty sure next week conversations with Christy will be starting back up, and I may guest appear on some of her stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Do I have tips for communicating with a partner who prefers to deal with fights right then, but you need to step back, get out of emotional state, and be able to look at it through logic? Well, having them understand that necessity is paramount, and I struggled to do this with Lucy. Even understanding the concept, part of her didn't want to admit or allow me to walk away, to gather myself. She was the same way, needed to do it right now. And I mean, even even allowing her to have that moment right now and seeing how that goes, even when that moment would go, we both go ballistic, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So I don't necessarily have an answer to this. This is something that I have struggled with immensely. But I mean, all we can do is try to bring understanding to them. Most likely, like in a moment when you're calm and collected, right? Don't wait for a fight to break out. Don't wait for the argument to happen to try and come to this understanding, but try and have a talk with them when you're both cool and be like, hey, in these moments, I have to walk away because I can't process. I can't be effective. I can't be logical. I need to step away. I understand that that doesn't necessarily work for you, but this doesn't necessarily work for me. So we need to find a compromise, or this is it's just gonna be worse and worse, right? We have to find some common ground to stand on. Um, and that's what I would suggest. That wasn't super effective for me, but I can't think of what else to do, right? If they're not willing to see and understand, or they're not capable of seeing and understanding, there's nothing we can do about it, right? And I don't know if that was what was going on with Lucy and I or not, but there was no solution. We never found a solution for this. When it was on, she was on, and there was no escaping for me. I would have to slam doors, and like I would have to run out of the house. I would literally have to run out of the house. And even if I did, she may chase me down in the vehicle. And that's how it was with us. So I don't have the best answer, but that is what I have. I hope that, please let me know how it goes. I hope that it works better for you than it did for me. They believe it's avoidance, but I can't logically, as someone who gets overwhelmed and with bipolar, I struggle to look at it clearly when I'm in my emotions. And this is terrible, right? This is terrible. Because we want this relationship, this interaction to work, right? We want to be there for them, but I literally can't even be here for myself right now. And if they can't understand that, then honestly, in my opinion, like right now, not being in a relationship, it's easy for me to say this cold stuff. But if they're not willing, they can get out of my life. You know what I mean? That's how I feel now, because I remember all the hardship I went through. And now it seems like for nothing, because Lucy and I amounted to nothing. We had all of this potential. We could have lit the world on fire in a great way, right? With our fire dancing, our duets, we could have made a career out of just doing what we love to do all the time. We could have literally traveled the world and just lived like however we wanted. Um, and these kinds of interactions are literally what got in the way. We just couldn't communicate when we were emotional. Um, So I hope that you can find some. I don't know. I had a plan when I set out on that rant, but I hope that you can find a way to communicate that to them. I hope that they can understand that that y'all are different. Y'all process things different, and this is what you need. I mean, do you ask this person for a lot? I mean, if the answer is no, be like, hey, I don't ask you for a lot, but like, this is what I need in these situations. I promise I'm not going to avoid it. We can come back and address it again. But if you ever talk to me like that again, I'm done, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not. I'm not super effective. I have not been very effective in this situation in the past. So please let me know how it goes. Yeah. I'm very firm with my boundaries these days. I do not have a whole lot of patience, and that's probably something I can work on. But I wasted years and years and years of my life putting everything that I have into stuff that just wasn't meant to be. So I don't have time for all this crap anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. You got to have patience with your significant other, and I'm without patience right now. 100%, Jimena. I was totally intending for this to be a cool moment. If you're already in the argument, and these boundaries aren't established, you're screwed. You have to establish these boundaries from a cool perspective, from a cool head. And it is about boundaries. That's what we're talking about, is boundaries. Like, hey, when this is going on, this is what I need, or I'm going to freak out. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case is. But that's a boundary. That's a firm boundary, and it's what you need, right? They have this boundary. They don't want you to avoid this argument or whatever. Like, do you think I'm running away from this? Like, maybe, do you guys live together? Like, yo, we live together. How am I going to avoid this? Relax. Give me some time, It's not a lot to ask for. It's very, very simple. And if they can't give you that, they're not worth it. Sorry, not sorry. The person that's out there for you, the person that you're meant to be with, is understanding, is patient, is not without their struggles. But the person out there that's right for you has has the ability to give you some patience and some time. Has the ability to has the desire to understand what's going on in your head and your heart. The desire, they want to know why, they want to know how, they want to know what's going on with you, right? And if that's not the case, you're with the wrong human. Not sorry at all. It's fact. Wow, what an eventful stream we've had today. Thank you guys for being here. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference. I don't like being walked away from, says Flick Fox. It comes from fear of abandonment and previous mentally and emotionally abusive partners would do it often as a form of punishment. It's something I'm working on though. Yo, if your partner is giving you the cold shoulder, I can't. I'm with you, Flick Fox. I can't do it. The cold shoulder kills me. But I can understand this. The especially the abandonment and previous mentally and emotionally abusive partners. I totally get it. I can totally get how that would seem. We have to find a way to tell the difference. And sometimes that's hard when we have trauma. 100% Flick. And again, sometimes I'll say things super confidently, but nothing's an end all be all. Nothing's a one size fits all answer, right? There's always going to, especially with situations of this nature, right? We're all going to have things that work for us. We're all going to have unique experiences leading up to the events, right? So, for your situation, Flick Fox, I might handle it completely differently, right? Back to what I was saying about, the right person for you wants to understand. The right person for you wants to know why this is difficult, right? Why can't I walk away? Well, because you have fear of abandonment. Previous, relationships have been so poor and used this basically as a weapon, this walk away thing. And that makes total sense, right? But the key is coming to that understanding with your significant other, I think. For you, I think that success in this situation looks a little different, right? The person that you're with probably needs to be a little tender and sweeter and take the time to understand this about you, right? That being said, thank you for sharing, Flick. I appreciate that a lot. Don't you LOL me, Ben Bacon Bits. This is not a place for laughing. I'm just kidding. You can laugh it up. That'll happen, Jimena. That will happen. And I hate to see this. I really do. I'm sorry that this is going on in your life. Have you told him how you feel about it, Jimena? Brianna, I can relate with this so much. When things get hard, I totally shut down too. But it has to really get to like a very overwhelming level. And with Lucy, that would totally happen. It would totally happen. Which, I don't know. Maybe that's something you guys get to work on, right? It's good that you start the sentence with "I love my boyfriend and we have a great relationship." That's the way right there. That's good. Spanx, I know what I like and don't like, but sometimes when I'm upset, it's hard to remember their boundaries because I want to fix it right away. I have to remember they might need space. And honestly, they might need to remember to ask you nicely for some space. You know what I mean? It's not your job to remember all this stuff all the time. You've got your own stuff going on. You've got your own emotions and thoughts to deal with, right? Not that, obviously we care for each other, right? But, maybe that's when they get to remind you very nicely, right? Like, hey, I need some space. I can only imagine, Scooby. I can only imagine. I wonder. Very thought provoking stream today, guys. Thanks for participating. You guys are the best. Yeah, stepping away from fight till calm is different from the silent treatment, says Mara. Who was I talking to? Flick Fox? That's right. Yeah, I would. I think Mara has some better input on your stitch than I do. Although, yeah, I mean, I guess it all goes hand in hand, but there's totally, you got to be able to tell the difference. And also, that goes back to something we've talked about a lot, intentions. If my intention is to go gather myself so that I can come back and be constructive in this meeting, right? That's one thing. But if my intent is to punish you for whatever you've done something, that's wrong. Objectively wrong. Not nice. Very not nice. You know what just came on in my ear? Gwen Stefani. Although it's no doubt Gwen Stefani at the helm. Underneath it all. She's the best. I'm a huge Gwen fan. Lori Abs, I was wondering if you'd make it today. Client running late. I'm glad you made it. I was thinking about shutting it down about 6 minutes ago, but looks like there was a reason to stay. How you doing today, Lori? Interesting, Jimena. It sounds like you are in a good place. You understand what's going on, and you seem like you feel grounded to me in like acceptance. What's that word? Serenity. You seem like, I don't know. You seem to be in a good position. I love to hear this. I love to hear this. I wish that he was ready or whatever, but nobody can decide that but him. And you're right. Yeah, I got you, Lori. How you doing? What's going on today, huh? Ah, you know? Absolutely, Dirty Mouse. I feel like I'm learning so much about my relationship with the boat. Thank you all so much. Yeah, and I've been writing down topics that people suggest. So if there's something specific that you want me to talk about, Dirty Mouse, let me know, and I'll try and put some together for you. I have a friend that who does that, the silent treatment. Not gonna lie, it sucks for a minute, but then I'm like, whatever. After a while, the silent treatment stops being a punishment for sure. For sure, for sure. It's like if you want to go be by yourself in your own headland, that's fine. I'm going to take this opportunity to do what I want to do unapologetically, right? I love that. With music in your ear, does it help you concentrate on the subject at hand? Yes. It also helps remove distractions. It's more of a distraction blocker than anything else. It's so stimulating just what's in front of me. We start adding audio from 1, 2, 3 different households, including things that may be happening in my household, right? So 4, quite overwhelming. And audio for me is a big, big deal. My ears, I don't know what's up with my ears. They're very sensitive. I can hear a lot of things. I have very good hearing. And at the same time, um, I get very irritated very easily with stuff going on with my ears. It could be just a mundane noise. It could just like send me over the edge, And I've been trying to relax and stuff. So this is more a response to the new situation. I used to just put music on my stereo, but now I have this thought like, well, I don't know. I shouldn't worry about other people. I should just worry about myself. But that is a challenge for me sometimes, especially when it's not cut and dry. I would have both in, but I still want to be aware of what's happening in this space. So I only have the one. Well, silent treatment, says Jimena, is used as manipulation. It's a power tool, specially used by narcissists. Interesting. Different from taking space. It is difficult to catch when it is one or the other, especially for use for us empaths. Interesting. I think this is one of the reasons I talk about intent a lot. I'm a big empath, right? And I've found that I can tell, not always, but I can get a window into someone's intentions often using my empathicness. And it's something that I have to specifically look for, right? It's something that I have to specifically, it's a skill I have to specifically cultivate. But us empaths can totally sense intention. And maybe that's just my superpower, but I find that hard to believe. Um, like I'm special or whatever, but I don't think I'm that special, right? So um, I encourage you to think about intent, think about your intent, other people's intent, be aware of intentions as they come about, as they're exercised, whether they're yours or someone else's. And that will provide you with a little bit of insight into intent from an empath's perspective, right? And then when the chips are down, right? When the deck is stacked, when the deck is stacked against you, um, you can pull from those resources and tell if someone's intent is good or not, right? And all of these skills are armored in experience, right? The more I experience these situations, the more I try to apply these concepts in the moment, the better I get at doing so. Have a good day, Scoob. We're gonna get out of here in just a sec. So no sweat. We'll see you soon, all right? Yeah, Jamie, my grandparents suck on their teeth a lot. And I think they're just getting to the point where it's too difficult to remember not to. So they just do it. And I just let them. But it drives me absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. See, it's in there. Wanna come through. Something that I wanna, I want you. Make it slither, baby. It's a foul song. All right, guys. No tank time today. But check this out. Please hold. I was hanging out with Mr. Ray Ray. We went and saw a movie, and then he showed me his garden. That dude can grow veggies. That dude is a regular botanist. Check this out. This is a yellow ghost pepper that Mr. Ray Ray grew. I have two of them. I wonder if the other one's in here. It probably is. And he gave me a bunch of other stuff too, but these are the hottest things in here. There's some habaneros and some red jalapenos. Ooh, dropping. I had some of the red jalapenos and some of the Roma tomatoes with my tacos last night. Fantastic. But got these two ghosts. They're supposed to be chocolate ghost or something like that, but we're pretty sure we got the seeds mislabeled, or they're like kind of a cross on accident, or there's something funky, right? Because they're definitely not chocolate. They're yellow. So, update on the cockroach situation. Nothing has been done. They're getting bigger. I'm keeping my kitchen cleaner. But I could call. There's been so much else going on that I've considered taking action on. I forgot about the cockroaches, to be honest. Like, I didn't forget about them, but they became less of a priority with other things going on. And then that stuff became so overwhelming, I decided to just ignore it and not act on it. And things have been really overwhelming over here lately. So, no, I haven't done anything with the cockroaches. And I want to eat these, but I don't know if this is the right time or the right place. Um, maybe later today. I definitely need to eat them today or tomorrow. I don't want them to start getting brown seeds. I just want to eat them and then be great. Chocolate's inside. Yeah, you're funny. You're funny. Martha Hornbaugh, still good to see you. Valerie 102. Yo. Maybe I should do a show at 8. It seems like some of y'all are only able to be here halfway through. Or maybe I'll start at 7:30 one of these days and then we can get best of both worlds. I don't know. Trish Ryan, what's going on? Interesting, Jimena. I have lots of thoughts, but I'm not going to share any of them right now. I think I'll ponder them a little bit before bringing them forward. Thank you for sharing that, though. I really appreciate you. I'm glad that we've had the opportunity to chit chat and hang out these past few mornings. At least not brown snakes. That's right. Eat it. Maybe I will. Here, one sec. Just in case. I meant to put this on for you, Jimena. I wear it when I'm walking around and doing stuff. I just forgot to put it on this morning. I love this bracelet. Come. What is happening? Okay. Boop. Anyways, I had to grab the milk. Oh, what have I done? Oh my gosh. My hands are not very smart by themselves. Just in case I get leaky, dude. Look at my crazy hair, guys. It's almost there. We're getting closer. One sec, sorry. I thought my other knife was over there, but I guess we'll use this crazy knife. I don't want to use this knife at all. It's dirty. Interesting. Well, might just have to use my hands or something. Is there a reason my uncle cuts them open first? Is that to make sure they're not gross inside? I feel like there's a reason. Sorry, one more time. I wish there was more light in here. Maybe there can be. Ugh. Thank you for your patience, y'all. Oh my gosh. Woo. Sucker's hot. It always looks so much better when Uncle Johnny does it. You know what I mean? He's a pro. That dude's a real pro. Wow. I don't know. I might eat both. That one was pretty hot. Oh, wow. This is a toothpick. There's a hole that stuff gets stuck in on that side. Well, I will say, I definitely ate some seeds, Yadira. Well, very curious. Slightly hotter than the tincture. Not very much, though. I promise, Robin. That is not a mistake I make these days. Wow. I think that's a 5. Fresh peppers burn different than tincture, though. And it's probably going to burn different in my tummy as well. Yeah, but that's the point, Martha. The point is how hot it is. Wow. It is quite spicy. I want to drink coffee, but I'll wait just for you guys. Most of the seeds were in the top, though. I got some. Wow. I'm glad that didn't destroy me. I was a little nervous. If it was a real chocolate ghost pepper, it probably would have smushed me. Probably would have smacked me around. It's getting hotter somehow. That feels like a 6 all of a sudden. My tongue is sweating. My brow and my eyelids here, like my eyebrows are sweating. Got in your way. Possible bludgeoning for questioning. Maybe that's what I should do. I should eat peppers and then sing. I don't have a whole lot to say, but I could sing all day long. You lay, let my doctor pay, operate today. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. That's what I have for you. The endorphins definitely kicked in. It's probably down to like a 1 or a 2, but very similar to the way a Serrano will start at the tip of my tongue and then like kind of just wash over everything slowly and like pulsing. It feels similar to that, except it doesn't stop burning. Once it starts, it just keeps going, right? With the Serranos, I feel like it moves from one place to another. With the Ghost, I feel like it washes over everything and stays. Very curious. Very, very curious. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the pepper, Jimena, I have to say. I'm sorry, Valerie. Just waited for you to show up to do that. I'm so sorry. Next time we'll just hang out and talk, all right? Well, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference. Drooling. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go have some breakfast, probably some Greek yogurt with some granola, chocolate, and fruit. Can't wait. Or maybe cheesy eggs. Who knows? Who cares? I'm going to eat all of it. Awesome sauce, human. I appreciate that, Yadira. And please send me all the recipes, Jimena. I need help in the recipe department. I'm recycling the same 3 recipes. But that being said, have a great day, y'all. Make it a great one. It's Thursday. I'll let you know tomorrow how my Flow Jam went.